Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who picked Christian Rodriguez to defeat Isaac Dolgarian. Wait, he won that fight? Either way, I'm here to talk about Cody Brundage versus Abdul Razak Alhassan. All right, this next fight, Cody Brundage versus Abdul Razak Alhassan, is a fight between two fighters with distinctive traits, which means I'll be looking for distinctive props. That's how that works. But my pick is Abdul Razak Alhassan, and I've got him winning by submission in round three with an inverted triangle choke. I think that's his most likely path to victory. All right, that's bullshit. I've got him winning by knockout. He's a guy who's got 12 wins. All 12 are by knockout. 11 of them are in round one, and the other one is 30 seconds into round two. So he's a guy with traits you can trust, at least offensively. When he wins, it's with a finish and it's via TKO or knockout. And almost always in round one. But even though Cody Brundage has two losses via knockout and both of them are in round one, I still don't think it's so easy to just plug in their records and bet your life savings on Abdul Razak Alhassan via first round knockout. Because Cody Brundage is an excellent fighter, especially in round one. He's a guy whose biggest distinctive trait is that he is not such a great nail. Much better hammer than he is a nail. But when he's a nail, he doesn't do so well. It's not to say he completely falls apart, but he's probably easier to finish than most other UFC fighters. And with that, combined with the danger and general durability of Abdul Razak Alhassan, I've got Alhassan winning by TKO. So that's that. But Cody Brundage is a guy who is without that breakability, so to speak. He's got it going on offensively. He is an excellent fighter, much more of a well-rounded fighter, even though Abdul Razak Alhassan has more grappling than meets the eye. He's on paper, he just looks like a pure striker. But Cody Brundage is definitely the better force here, grappling-wise, in this matchup. He's the wrestler, and he's the guy with more submissions. He's got 3 submissions, very good arm triangle choke. He's gotten a few of those, and a guillotine over Dalcha Lunjambula. But overall, he's winning the grappling fight, in my opinion. Even if it goes the distance, Cody by decision would be the pick there for sure. But it's those losses that I have to look to that really have me going with Alhassan. He's got 2 losses by knockout, 2 by submission, and 2 by decision. By the way, I'll address Abdul Razak Alhassan's losses in a few minutes. The 2 TKOs are to Mikhail Oleksiejczuk and to William Knight. William Knight caught him defending takedowns and just elbowed him into half unconsciousness. And Mikhail Oleksiejczuk was able to thwart the grappling or survive the grappling of Cody Brundage, got on top of him and ground and pounded him, turning the fight around on a dime inside round 1. Those are his 2 TKO or knockout losses. They're to beasts, but he was overwhelmed and it happened pretty quickly. He has 2 submission losses. This isn't so much of a threat in this matchup, but even if it was, the submission losses are to Rodolfo Vieira, the best jiu-jitsu guy in the UFC right now, and Bo Nickel, the best wrestler in the UFC right now. So, no shame there, and both those losses are in round 2. I don't think that's a path to victory for Abdul Razak Alhassan. And then he's got 2 losses by decision to SD Dumas and Nick Maximov, both in the UFC. The Nick fight was pretty close. I thought really could have gone either way, and I liked the way Brundage looked in the end. I thought he showed good cardio and really could have won that fight, but it went the other way. And to Cedricus Dumas, SD Dumas, that really could have, the decision couldn't have gone the other way, but the fight could have gone completely in the opposite direction, if not for the shitty fight IQ of Cody Brundage jumping for guillotines after he had the guy mounted and whatever. But still, he survived there. I suppose Cody Brundage losing by decision isn't the worst look, considering the biggest problem of his is his problem being the nail, his durability overall. But here I think Against Abdul Razak Alhassan, I envision Cody Brundage winning early. He's got perhaps even cleaner striking and, again, better grappling. And I think he's going to be out grappling Abdul Razak Alhassan early, which on paper should take away that danger because Abdul Razak Alhassan has almost all round one finishes, like I said. But I still think Abdul is very tough to get out of there. Again, I'll address his losses in a minute. And I envision him taking it from Cody Brundage and turning the fight around. And when he does, he's going to have that danger factor. And it's going to be too much for Cody. And I think he's going to get him out of there. That's the fight I envision. Now let me talk about the losses for Abdul Razak Alhassan. He does have 6 losses. He's only been finished twice, once by knockout, once by submission. The submission comes against Joe Pyfer in his last loss, which was last year, and that was a round 2 arm triangle choke, technical arm triangle. He didn't tap out, but he was still outgunned there by a better fighter who, despite the loss a few months ago to Jack Hermanson, is still surging. Joe Pyfer, I think he's done being a prospect, and he's a contender. And the one guy to knock him out was Kalen Williams. Got him out of there in 30 seconds. No shame there because Chaos is a fucking crusher, but it is still a bad knockout loss. However, it's coming up on 4 years ago, and even though Abdul Razak Alhassan is about to turn 39 years old, he still has looked generally healthy ever since and even before that fight. And then his other losses are decisions, 4 decision losses to Joaquin Buckley, Monir Lazez, Jacob Malkoun, and Omari Akhmedov. All fights in the UFC, all to very good fighters, obviously. But generally speaking, he was controlled in those fights, out-wrestled. And that is a path to victory for Cody Brundage. And again, Cody Brundage does have good cardio, and technically he's the superior fighter here every which way. But it's just what happens when that sway of momentum hits and Abdul Razak Alhassan is able to get up and get out and really pour it on Cody Brundage. I have most of my doubts there in that moment, and that is the pick. So Abdul Razak Alhassan by knockout is the pick. I'll plug in their records and say, yeah, it happens at the end of round 1. But in this fight, I really wouldn't be surprised if it happened even in round 3. Round 3, it's not, again, Cody Brundage has no cardio issues. I addressed those 2 decision losses. But even some wins he's got in round 3. This guy Cropshot, he got out of there in a competitive fight with an arm triangle 30 seconds into round 3. That was in the LFA. Cody Brundage has been there. He's got good cardio. But I just think it's not about cardio in a loss to Abdul Razak Alhassan. It's about standing up to that power and getting out from under that power. And I just think he's going to be overwhelmed here. If I'm wrong, I would pick Cody to win by decision. I'd say that's his primary path to victory. But the prop I'm most excited to play, of course, is Abdul Razak Alhassan via knockout. Because that is one where I'm absolutely sure it is his only path to victory. He's totally going to win by round 3 inverted triangle choke now. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.